Have you ever been in a situation where you say to yourself, this can't be, it's too good to be true? I'm going to share my experience with you. Not just this one, but every experience I've ever had that's worth telling. Trust me when I tell you I've seen it all and done it all. There's nothing under the sun that's new to me. Well, let's get down to it. There was a point in my life where I had nothing. I was going through a tough time. I was still a student in the university. I wasn't sure of where my next meal would come from. I had been applying for jobs, but I couldn't get any. I had just 1,000 naira left, so I decided to go to the market which was close by so I could buy some food. On my way back from the market, it began to rain. So instead of walking home, I decided to enter a bus. I was thinking deeply halfway through the journey. When I was close to my bus stop, I looked up, and that was when I saw her. That was when I met Linda. Her beauty was perfect. I couldn't stop staring at her. I wasn't sure if I should speak to her, but I knew that if I didn't try to speak with her, I would regret it later on. So I gathered courage and spoke to her. She was so polite and kind to me. We ended up talking for a while before getting to my bus stop. As I was about to drop from the bus, she asked for my number and gave me a hug. Seriously, a hug. I felt like drowning in it. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you my name. I'm John. Later on that evening, she called me. We spoke for hours. I could really feel the connection we shared. Before the conversation ended, she asked me a question that made me sweat. She said, "John, can you come see me tonight?" I felt like my head was going to explode. I couldn't contain my excitement, but then I remembered that I didn't have any money with me, so I declined. I told her I couldn't make it and that I had so much to do that night. After the conversation, I couldn't sleep. I was wondering what she saw in me. I was eager for the next day to come so I could speak with her. The next day, everything went on as normal. Hunger was bashing me from all sides. The kind of hunger I'm talking about is that type that when it hits you, you won't be able to think straight for a whole day. But before 2 p.m. that day, something amazing happened. I received money from my uncle. I had told him how bad things were going. I was surprised that he sent me 50,000 naira because this particular uncle is the owner of the ward called Stingy. I felt on top of the world. I hadn't heard from Linda all day, so I reached out to her by 4 p.m. She apologized for not calling. She said she had a really busy day. We spoke for a few minutes and then she said to me, "John, I'm bored. Will you come and see me today?" I cleared my throat and said, "Send me your address. I'll definitely be there." I was bold enough to meet with her because I had some money with me. After the call ended, I received a text from her. She texted her address to me. I began to wonder why she was so eager to see me. I felt like something wasn't right, but the adventurous and curious part of me wanted to see where this drama was going to lead to. So I decided to meet with her. I'm a very curious person, but also safety conscious. So before I left the house, I sent Linda's phone number and address to my friend and told him that if he doesn't hear from me in 12 hours, he should involve the police. My friend tried to talk me out of going to see her, but my mind was already made up. That's how stubborn I am. Yeah, so I left for Linda's house. I made sure to carry my ATM card with me so that we could hang out later on. She lived on the outskirts of town. When I got to the building, it looked like no one lived there. So I called her and I was like, "Hey, I'm at the location you sent me, but I'm not sure anyone lives here." She replied and said, "You're at the right place. Just come in. Walk down the hallway. You would see me." At that point, I was unsure of everything. I began to question myself. All sorts of horrible thoughts flooded my mind. As I walked down the hallway, it got darker and darker. My heart began to race. I heard footsteps coming from the end of the hallway. I felt like my heart was about to explode. Suddenly, everywhere became bright again. It was there I saw her. She looked more beautiful than she did yesterday. She greeted me and took me into her room. I could tell she was happy to see me. We talked for hours. Honestly, we both lost track of time. I noticed that at every little chance she got, she would move closer and closer to me. until she was now literally face to face with me. Don't worry, I'm not telling you more than that. That's not the reason for this story. But what happened next changed my entire life. Maybe something happened, or maybe nothing happened. But I was tired and I began to fall asleep. I heard the door open and close, but my eyes were still shut. I felt a hard tap on my back. I was reluctant to open my eyes. Then all of a sudden, someone slapped me. I jumped up quickly and then boom! I saw two hefty guys in the room. Linda was in the middle of both of them. I began to sweat because when I looked at them, I knew that boys were not smiling. The guys hardly said anything. Linda came close to me and said, "How much do you have?" And I replied and said, "I don't have any money with me except my transport money." One of the guys said, "If I slap you, you will start seeing visions of the future." Quickly I apologized and told them I was with my ATM card and I had some money on it. I was hoping they would follow me to the ATM stand by the roadside and there I would raise an alarm. I was feeling fly and funky because I knew that people would come to my rescue. But I didn't know they had other plans. One of them said, "Bring out your card." And I did. Then out of nowhere, they pulled out a POS machine. At that point, my whole world shattered. I began to cry because I knew what this meant. As life would have it, they made away with the 50,000 naira my uncle sent to me. I ran back home crying. I called the police, and when we got there, we found out that no one actually lived there. I was back to square one, hungry, tired, scared, and above all, I felt like a fool. This is just one of the many experiences I've been through. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment on the video. Every like counts. Check out our other videos showing on the screen.